Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Jen. I hope that you'll consider hitting that subscribe button before you forget so that I can update you every time I share a new and fun video. I'm really excited for today's video. So I am going to give you a recap of every single book that I read in 2020, and there are 69 of them. So that was really a great reading year for me. I don't typically read that much, but 2020 was the year to read. It was the one thing that I had to just take my mind off of everything else going on in the world. But today is also going to be a tag video. So as I tell you every single book that I read rapid fire, because there's 69 of them in 2020, I also have a few questions that are going to be answered along the way. And I am going to tag my good friend Jen Lefforge from Joyful Living with Jen Lefforge, or Jen Lefforge straight up. She has two channels because she's amazing. And I hope that she'll consider joining in on the fun and sharing with us all of the books that she read in 2020, and hopefully she'll entertain me and answer some of these questions too, because they're simple and fun. So if you guys want to follow me on Goodreads, I'll leave that link below and you can see how I rated these books and everything else. But here is my year in books. So I read 23,071 pages. I read 69 books. And my shortest book was 161 pages. That was The Crossroads of Should and Must. And my longest book was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire at 734 pages. My average book length was 334 pages. And average rating for 2020 was a 4.0. All right, so that's just kind of the stats for the year, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you those tag questions. Okay, so my first question is, who was your favorite character in a book that you read in 2020? Question number 2 is, what book made you laugh or cry? Question number 3 is, a book that everyone should read. Question number 4, the book with the best cover. Question number 5, which was a book that you could not put down? Totally a page turner, something that you read super quick. And then my last tag question is, which was your best book and which was your worst book of the year? So pretty basic, easy stuff. Those are my questions. Hopefully I remember to answer them all. And let's get started. Also, if you guys are new to my channel, you can go over to my library of bookish videos, and I have recorded reviews of a lot of these books, as well as some reading vlogs and reading challenges and all kinds of stuff. So if you would like to see more about the books that I'm talking about today, definitely check out my library of bookish videos. And I also have Tea Talk and Book Banter, and I have a whole bunch of videos over there as well. So January of 2020, I read The 7 Days of Us by Francesca Hornak. I also read The Power by Naomi Alderman. I read Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, and there are 2 books that made me cry. This was one of them. I sobbed at the end of Peter Pan. The next book that I read in January was The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper, and this is by Phaedra Patrick. And my favorite character of 2020 happened to be Arthur Pepper. He inspired me that you really need to live your life no matter what your age is. I love Arthur Pepper. And I was so obsessed with that book that I also read The Library of the Lost and Found, also by Phaedra Patrick. Okay, my February books. Miss Bunkle's Book by D.E. Stevenson, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, The Winter Sea by Susanna Kersley, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and my worst book of the year was Red at the Bone by Jacqueline Woodson. I can't even tell you what this book was about. I just don't even know. But this was my least favorite book of the year. March is always a fun reading month because I do middle grade March, so a lot of these books are middle grade. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, The Book of Boy by Catherine Murdoch, A Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware, My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. Ooh, that was my worst book of the year. Okay, that's my second worst book of the year because that was the only book I think, in my entire life that I could not finish. I am the type of person who likes to finish a book no matter how bad it is, but that book was so bad I could not get to the end. I got like 3/4 of the way through and did not finish it, so that was my second worst book of the year. Sorry to say I had two. The Read Aloud Family by Sarah Mackenzie. The Tale of Despero by Kate DiMichello. By Kate DiMichello. I loved this book. Pages & Co. The Book Wanderers by Anna James. The House on Pooh Corner by A.A. Milne. Jane Austen, Northanger Abbey. Heidi by Johanna Spyri. And Educated by Tara Westover. This is an awesome book. Okay, now on to my April books. The Enchanted April by Elizabeth Von Arman. Thorny Hold by Mary Stewart. The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake by Amy Bender. Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemore. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. And my favorite book of the year, I just don't even know exactly why, but this book is the one that I remember the most, the one that I think about the most, and the one that had me completely captivated from beginning to end, and that is I Capture the Castle by Dottie Smith. I adore this book. And you can see how many like little tabs I have in it from all of like my favorite lines and quotes and things. This book was just such a great escape and so beautifully written. Okay, in May I read The Big Book of Backyard Projects, and that was by Paige Gilchrist and Lark Books. I also read The Ultimate Garden Planner by Peter McCoy. Moon Over Manifest by Claire Vanderpool. At Home in Mitford by Jan Karen. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. The Shell Seekers by Rosamund Pilcher. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Marianne Schaefer and Annie Barrows. And I reread Harry Potter, The Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. Okay, and we are on to our June books. Wild Strawberries by Angela Thirkell. The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I reread Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. And in July, I usually participate in Jane Austen July, which is another reading challenge. So I did read a couple of Jane Austen books, Mansfield Park and Persuasion. I read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and this is another J.K. Rowling book. I was hoping to get through all of the Harry Potter books over the summer, but this one was hefty and it was the last one that I read over the summer. And my favorite cover of the year was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. It was not one of my favorite books, but the cover is just perfect and beautiful for the summer. So now we are on to August books. I read Miss Marple by Agatha Christie. The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. The Crossroads of Should and Must by Elle Luna. And Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day by Winifred Watson. This was the book that made me laugh the most. This book was hysterical. I absolutely adored it. And then I also read Untamed by Glennon Doyle, and I have to say that is the one book that everyone should read, needs to read. So inspirational. It was just really, really the most recommended book that I think everyone would thoroughly enjoy and get something out of. Okay, so now we're on to September books. Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. 9 Coaches Waiting by Mary Stewart. The Bungalow Mystery, a Nancy Drew mystery by Carolyn Keene. And also The Hidden Staircase by Carolyn Keene. And now my October, we have, I read a lot of really good books in October. The Haunting of Ashburn House, and this is by Darcy Coates. Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This was the book of the year that I could not put down. This was definitely a page turner. One of my favorites, definitely my favorite book of October. And now I am slightly obsessed with Riley Sager books, so I'm really excited to read more. This was definitely a page turner. And The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. This book made me cry so hard. This was the second book that really made me cry. At the end, I completely fell apart. It's a coming of age book. If you have a little boy, the end of this book is just going to make you sob. So Peter Pan and The Graveyard Book were the 2 books of 2020 that made me cry. You guys would not believe the mess below me right now. Okay, and these are the books that I read in November. So this is Dracul by Decree Cree Stoker. The Christmas Invitation by Trisha Ashley. Love the cover of this book too, though. It's really pretty. Roald Dahl's Matilda. I love this book. This would be a reread, but I just really love this. Winter Storms and Winter Stroll by Ellen Hilderbrand. The 101 Dalmatians by Dottie Smith. Okay, and finally, the books that I read in December of 2020. Stormy Petrel by Mary Stewart. By Sunny O'Neill, The Gifts of Christmas Past. A Return to Victorian Traditions. By L.M. Montgomery, Christmas with Anne. Charles Dickens' Christmas Stories. I read A Christmas Carol. That's the only one that I read from this book. Winter Solstice by Ellen Hilderbrand. One Day in December by Josie Silver. And finally by Christina Lauren, In a Holidays. Okay guys, so those are all of the books that I read in 2020. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that my friend Jen will play along and share with us all of the books that she read in 2020 and answer some of those tag questions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys are all off to a great 2021. Please let me know if you had any favorite books from 2020. So this year I challenged myself to read 60 books and I ended up reading 69. So I think that for 2021 I'm going to challenge myself to read 70 books, only because I'm hoping the year will get better and I will likely maybe not be reading quite as much because maybe I'll be traveling and exploring and shopping and doing all of the things, going out to dinner, meeting up with friends. Can you imagine? So I'm hoping my 2021 has lots more of that type of activity, but I also want to continue reading because it's been a great part of my life, especially when I need a really good escape. So yeah, I'm gonna keep at it. We'll see what 2021 brings. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things, and I will see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.